Come on.
Do I sound like I'm joking? Do I sound like I'm playing? When you look into my eyes, you understand what I'm saying? Let me say it to you slowly, and it may sound scandalous. I don't think that you can handle this.
All right, on to Sunday Night Football. The 4-4 Cincinnati Bengals are heading to LA to face the 6-3 Chargers. The Chargers are 1.5-point favorites, and the projected total is 46.5. That means Vegas is telling us that the Cincinnati Bengals will score 22.5 points while the Chargers score 24. As far as injuries, there's one key note as far as Cincinnati goes. T. Higgins, he's missed the last 3 weeks with a hamstring injury. I wonder if his contract's playing any part of this, but we'll have to see if he's ready by Sunday night. And then on the Chargers side, they've had a couple injuries. Offensive guard Trey Pipkins III has an ankle injury. He didn't play last week. And cornerback Christian Fulton also did not play last week. We'll see if they're going to come back. Mike, Steph, both these teams are pretty healthy. What do you think? Who you got?
This game was initially scheduled to begin on the afternoon slate, but due to the ineptness and ineptitude of both the Colts and the Jets, here they go again. I swear, I said at the beginning of this episode that I was not going to mention these damn Jets. And every damn segment they come to play. I mean, see how they affect my psyche? This game was flexed to the Sunday night schedule, thereby saving us from a truly dreadful and boring night. The Chargers are 6-3 and slowly but surely forming into what we and Jim Harbaugh wants his team to represent. Run the ball, play smart, play great defense. Well, they're first in the league in points allowed at 13.1 points per game. They have a competent running game, and the discipline instilled by Harbaugh has matured the play of Justin Herbert. While he is not the fantasy darling that he was in the past, he has an 11 touchdown to 1 interception ratio for the season. And more importantly, they are firmly placed in playoff contention. They have won 4 of their last 5 games since the bye. Now, for the Bengals, due to they're still in position to make a push for the postseason after over the last half of the season due to the overall suctitude of the conference. They went toe-to-toe with the Ravens in another classic game last Thursday night before losing due to a 2-point conversion that they did not make at the end of the game. Jamar Chase was a monster. He had 11 catches for 264 yards receiving and 3 touchdowns. Joe Burrow threw for 428 yards and 4 touchdowns. This is the last game before their bye week, and if they can get to the record of 5-6, everything is still in front of them. This is an interesting game, but being the fact that the Chargers have no home field advantage whatsoever, I'm going to take that out the equation because they should have never left San Diego. I'm going to take the Chargers minus 1.5 because what's the old saying? A great defense will beat a good offense. Well, right now, at least when it comes to scoring, the Chargers are borderline great this season. And if anybody can slow down this high-flying attack of the Cincinnati Bengals, I believe it is Chargers. You know, it still had, no matter how many points they scored, no matter how many touchdowns Joe Burrow has put up in the last couple of weeks, because he's put up 9 touchdowns in the last couple of weeks, he's still getting pulverized. That offensive line is still a sieve. And they're going to have to worry about a very disciplined team, a team that's not going to shoot themselves in the foot, and a team that's not interested in getting into a race with you. No, they're just going to ground and pound you. And that's what I think is going to happen. So I'm going to take the Chargers minus the 1.5. The over-under 46.5. I believe for the Chargers to comfortably win this game, they got to go under. I think they're going to be able to complete that task. So Chargers minus 1.5, over-under.
I do like the idea of you going under if you're going with the Chargers. The Bengals have lost 2 of their last 3. They beat the Raiders, but they lost to the Ravens and Eagles. Meanwhile, the Chargers have won 4 of their last 5. but their 4 wins have been against the Broncos, the Saints, the Browns, the Titans. They only have had one decent win all season, and that's that Broncos victory. Meanwhile, they've lost to the Steelers, Chiefs, and Cardinals. Much like I just mentioned with Philadelphia and Washington, the Chargers have been winning, but questionable competition. So this game comes down to, for me, are the Bengals any good? Are they also questionable competition? They're 4-6. They have a losing record. Although they lost last week, I think you have to come out of that game feeling like they are now looking a little bit better. They faced the contender. They fought them dead on. They were a penalty away, a 2-point conversion away, however you want to look at it. I think the Bengals have to win this game, and I think they are. So I like the Bengals actually straight up, obviously plus the 1.5. And because I'm on that side of the fence, I will also take the over. And it's always good to disagree with Mike Steph.
We're talking things that make you blush, but trust us, it's a must. From awkward to taboo, we're here to guide you through. It don't matter if you're a bit of a prude, it's a prude awakening.
This
it's
I you put it in there?
Huh? I swear, I love that. Which girl? I love that jingle.
All right, and last but not least, we have Monday Night Football. The 6-4 Houston Texans are heading to Dallas to face the 3-6 Cowboys. The Texans come in as 7.5-point favorites. The projected total is 42.5 points. That means that Vegas is telling us that the Texans will score 25 points while the Cowboys will score 17.5. As far as injuries, Houston has 2 pretty big names that you have to look out for. Will Anderson has an ankle injury. Wide receiver, that's a defensive end, in case you were not sure. Meanwhile, wide receiver Nico Collins has been out since early last month. He is likely to come back this week, but I thought he was coming back last week, so we'll see. On the Cowboys side, offensive tackle Tyler Guyton, we have to see if he's going to be ready for Monday. Mike, Steph, what do you think about this game? Who you got in the battle for Texas?
Not to step on your toes, but we forgot one big injury part in this game.
That is crazy. I kept announcing them as the Dakless Cowboys, and then I forgot it here.
I'm going to talk about the Texans first. Struggles abound for this injury-riddled team. They've lost 3 of the last 4 games, but they have 1 victory coming against the directionless Indianapolis Colts in the last game that Anthony Richardson, a.k.a. I need a break, boss. Shoot, I'm tired. I'm tired of running around here. That's the last game he started, and he effectively just gave his job away, but that's neither here nor there. And to tell you the truth, they only won by 3 points, so we should have known something was coming. Something was coming when it comes to these Texans. Their most recent loss was to the aforementioned Lions at home by 3, despite forcing 5 turnovers in which they were not able to capitalize on. If they can take advantage of these next 3 games against the Titans, the Jags, and these Cowboys, not in that particular order, and they can get to the bye at least 8-4, get healthy, and be ready for the stretch run, they got KC and Baltimore on the other side of that bye, so I advise them to at least win 2 of the next 3 games. Now, when it goes to the Cowboys, this season has imploded. It's been slow developing, but it's nearly complete. Normally, I go on a rant about all the attention this overrated team gets undeservedly from the media at large, but this time it's different. It really is different. They are a mess, but that's partially because of injuries. They're going to miss Dak Prescott, who's going to probably miss the rest. Matter of fact, he will miss the rest of the season due to a severe hamstring injury. I believe they said some of the hamstring was coming off the bone, and Jerry Jones like, well, I think he's going to try to play through it. And Dak was like, sure, I got my money. I'm going to take care of me. So it's interesting that it's come to this because everything that they did not do during the offseason and pretty much replenishing the troops is coming back to haunt them. They have no running game. They're second last in the league at 83.7 yards a game. The defense is 31st in the league in points allowed with 28.8 a game. And not only that, Micah Parsons is throwing shade at lame duck head coach Mike McCarthy. After matter of fact, I believe 3 straight 12-5 years, it was bound to crumble. Unfortunately, it's crumbling in spectacular fashion, especially since I kind of picked the Cowboys to repeat as division champions, which I should have known was a folly of mine because nobody has repeated in the NFC East in years. Oy vey. So I guess when it comes to this line, I don't trust the Texans enough to take the -7.5. But the thing is, I don't really trust Dallas enough to come to make sure that they don't get blown out. And it's at home. And Dallas, they've been getting blown out at home since last year in the postseason. So I will take the Texans -7.5 and the over/under. I'm gonna go under because I just don't think Dallas is gonna be able to score.
All right, real quick. Houston has lost 2 straight in 3 of their last 4. 3 of their 4 losses in the entire season are on the road. Meanwhile, Dallas has lost 4 straight, including the embarrassing 34-6 last week against the Eagles. As you pointed out, Dak is gone. I don't know how I missed that in the injury report. And they can't run, as you also pointed out. This game looks like it's going to be ugly. It's going to be ugly Monday Night Football. I assume Houston will look a little bit better with Nico Collins back. But most importantly, as you pointed out, it looks like the Cowboys have completely given up. Until further notice, I will be for any opponent of Dallas until Dallas proves that they have signs of life again. So despite me earlier mentioning that I don't like this game as far as Survivor, and I still don't, if I'm going to bet this game, which I may or may not, I'm going to take the Texans and their 7.5 points. As far as the over/under, I have to go under, but I don't feel very confident about it. So we agree.
What's interesting about this game? They flexed their previously mentioned game to Sunday Night Football, and they kept this game on Monday night. I know it's because of Dallas popularity and everything, but I'm looking at this slate. There's 2 games that come to mind that easily should be on Monday night. The Ravens and the Steelers. That's a battle for first place in the AFC North. And then you have the late game, the Chiefs going to Buffalo against the Bills, 9-0 versus 8-2. But yet this is what they give you on Monday night. I'm not mad because Sunday, I love sitting in front of my TV and with the Red Zone channel, and I'm just watching all the different games. I swear, I know I'm way late to the party, but thanks to that man, he kind of put me on to it, and I'm like, it kind of messes with the ADD to a certain degree. I mean, I'm not haven't been clinically diagnosed, but still, I'm just like, but really, you think I'm watching this game? I'm watching Raw. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, clearly Kansas City, Buffalo is the game of the week, so I wish they were showing it. All right, Mike, Steph, take us home.
All right. It's been another great week of Hidden Just Football, another great edition of Hidden Just Football. I'd like to thank each and every one of y'all for making us the football podcast y'all choose to view and you choose to listen to. Please like, subscribe, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. And once again, I normally don't plug myself, but I am going to plug because I dropped 2 episodes this week of the Salty Thoughts of Mike Steph podcast. One is an audio-only episode that can be found on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, pretty much wherever you can find podcasts, put in the Salty Thoughts of Mike Steph, and you will find that. And you can also check me out on YouTube, my regularly scheduled program. With all that being said, Hidden Gems Football has been a part of 19 Media Group. Goodbye. I swear, one of these times.
Hey, Mike Steph, do you think the Jets should trade for Derek Carr?
This is a 19 Media Group presentation.
Oh my God. Hold on a second. I put the wrong thing here. That is not how math works.
Trey Pimpkins? That's his name?
His name is Pimpkins. He's the third, by the way.
Pimpkins, the third.
The third.
So that means there was a Pimpkins Senior and a Pimpkins Junior.
Right. But I like how he's Trey, kind of means 3, Pimpkins third. I think the grandfather and the father were waiting for this moment.
Must have been, because Pimpkins. So he's like a mini pimp. Like, like Shopkins, Pimpkins. Okay. All right.